Praise to you, O Christ. Let us spend some time with today's Gospel from St. Luke, chapter 7, from verses 11 to 17. This miracle strikes us with an astonishing freshness and intensity. We have the desire that we wish to be there, to go through all the emotions and all the experience of the witnesses. We wish to be there. Jesus' personal compassion is shown in this miracle. It's not simply a healing miracle, it's more than that. And it's worth contemplating that when Jesus carries out his work of salvation, he fights the illnesses and the maladies of human life. But in our personal lives, he is present in his work, in this work. Jesus, the Prince of Life, here meets death, carrying away his helpless prey. So this is this wider framework. Then Jesus is confronting death, the absolute threat to man's biological existence. But, as mentioned, in our personal life, in our personal circumstances, Jesus fights these enemies of human life and that of the soul. We can see this crossing or shared section between his great work and our personal lives. Because from a distance, for the burial, the widow and those who accompany her to the cemetery, to the burial place, they leave the city wall behind. The dead man was in the act of being carried out, and the word which the Gospel is using shows that Jesus was drawing near. Jesus drew near, and the man was moving away from his previous life where he had lived. It seems purely accidental, but it is not. It was the hand of providence. And it highlights the fact that Jesus is always drawing near to us. The same type of encounter surfaces in our own lives, in our own personal issues, that Jesus is carrying out his great work of redemption, but it takes place through the particular individual human heart. Our life manifests our Lord in his teaching ministry. We can see Jesus' personal compassion. This mother had his only begotten son lost. On top of it, he was a widow, which is a heart-wrenching situation at the time. the woman is without any defense. So it raises the grief to the highest degree. And interesting, worth noticing, that in Luke's Gospel, this is the point when Jesus has the name the Lord. Luke starts using it in the Gospel, the Lord, from this time. So Jesus acts as the Lord of life, as the Lord of the resurrection, the revealer of our final redemption. As Lord, in this miracle, we meet him as a deity, as our own Messiah ruler, whom we trust, whom we obey. And what we see, that this Lord of life, this Messiah, working for the great salvation of humankind, the whole of humankind, manifests his messianic love through a personal encounter. We read that he was moved to the nobler viscera, to the nobler organs, when heart, lungs and liver are trembling. In Jewish understanding, these organs were the seat of the affections, but in this miracle we see even more, that Jesus' noble organs as the embodied Son of God, his heart, liver, lungs, his whole being was carrying his messianic compassion. Messianic compassion. And this is what is surfacing in our life. When Jesus is involved in our issues, when we turn him to prayer for guidance, discernment, our human heart meets with his messianic compassion. So let us be nourished by this attitude that we recognize him as our own Messiah ruler, whom we trust, whom we obey. Jesus is our only and full authority among the many authorities of this world.